Hi, race fans. We're here tonight. We got the Asphalt Tuesday here tonight for the Coast to Coast Racing League. A hot Atlanta, too. It's a fast 1.5 mile track here tonight in Atlanta. A new configuration has been repaid about several years ago, and it has brought about some awesome racing. We got the trucks here to pick up trucks for the Coast to Coast. Well, you've heard him before. I know here at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's the man old Marty up here. I can't say his last name, but I'll just say Marty.
It's all good, Joe. Thanks for having me in tonight. We're getting set to go for the trucks in Atlanta. It's the Jim Bowie Classic, 80 laps to celebrate our senior member's 80th birthday, and we're very excited for this one. Jim is a legendary member of the Coast to Coast Racing League, and I believe he is racing with us tonight, and we're definitely looking forward to having him with us. But this is a track that's going to be a lot of fun, Joe. Super speedway racing. You're holding your foot to the floor, wide open in this truck. A lot of drafting. It's going to be fun to watch for 80 laps.
It is, and a lot of people, man, you think about 1.5 mile cookie cutter style tracks, and they're like, can't be wide open. A lot of these tracks have come that way because of the repaves and whatnot. Now, if we get a long green flag run, sure, tires will come into play, etc. It's that short run that you got to look at that, like you said, wide open, side by side. Got to be careful. Pick and choose. That's awesome. I got to ask, though, is he one of the members of the Salty Dogs?
Yes, he is. He is in the Salty Dogs chat, so.
Okay, nice. Well, it's good, man, to see him out there. Great to have it. Hope everybody's having a great 4th of July. So, well, if you're in the U.S., that is. I mean, if you're in Canada, in which we do have a lot of Canadians here, I think they celebrated theirs
Canada
Monday.
had their Canada Day on Saturday.
Was it Saturday? Okay. I thought it was
Canada
Monday.
Day, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Australia had theirs on Monday, I think it was. Everybody has one somewhere, right? And look, I can't keep up with everything.
It's always,
I'm old, too.
It's always July, the month of nations or something.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Well, looks like we got qualifying underway tonight here in the Mission 22, man, Lucy Olson. And you got to give a good shout out to Lucy Olson, doing great things. Got Roland Olson out here, the dad of her. But looks like Joseph Canellis, man, is going to be the man out front. Now, a lot of these names you'll know from the dirt side of things. They run on the Hometown Heroes and run on the Renegades and are on Monday nights and run races on the Thursday nights and so forth. So Asphalt might be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for, out of their realm, so to speak. Dirt's more their home style turf.
Yes. Dirt definitely is their home style turf, but a lot of the guys like to hang out at the super speedways. In fact, if I take a look at the car count we have tonight, 27 drivers will be racing with us this evening. Okay. Everybody loves the super speedway. Atlanta obviously is a hybrid, but you gotta love pack racing.
Well, and you do, and you got to throw in like Talladega, Daytona. Everybody, man, comes out for that. It's one of those deals where anybody can race. I've done a lot of races with Talladega and Daytona. I have seen over the years, by doing a lot of broadcasts, I've seen it all. I've seen guys win from the pole, middle of the pack, into the pack. I've seen guys win 2 laps down coming off pit road. So on those tracks, anything's possible. Anything goes on it. Here, I guess kind of the same way, but you're going to have to put a little more driving into this track. Again, I know at the first probably, I'm going to say a solid 15 or so, 18 laps. Like you said, you're wide open. You're right there. You're nose to tail, side by side. But if it goes long green flag, you're eventually going to have to, kind of drive it a lot more than what you do at a big super speedway.
Absolutely. This is going to be interesting. By the way, what the drivers are doing right now on the track, they are running their warm-ups, which is also known as finding your pit box and practicing your pit road speed entry. But there's a lot of varying strategies here at this track. You could run up and hang out with the lead pack and just try and be with them as far as possible. Or you could hang out at the back of the pack and be away from the cars, be away from the pack. Why?
Yep.
Because there's something out there that we like to call the big one that can absolutely be possible here tonight. It could come early, it could come late, it could come in the middle of the race. You just never know. It's not a matter of if, a matter of when.
And it is, and you say that a lot on, like I said, we go back to Talladega and all. But let's look at the grid in order here tonight. Catalytic recovery, as we got Joseph Canellis going to be the man out front. Kyle Moonen, man, right there. He's back in it, starting in second. I call him Joe Moose, and if you've been following me on the Hometown Heroes, you know why. It's Moosawa, but he lets me say Moose, and that's cool. We got a running thing going on with it. It's awesome. Trent Verzaten there in fourth. We got Colin Johnson starting in fifth. Jeff starting in sixth. Tim Chapman up there in seventh. Cody Graham starting eighth. Sean Grace in ninth. And we got Brendan Lacey. I had to read my little chart over here. A little small sometimes. I'm going to get my magnifying glass out later on. Starting at 10th. Pat Boyce there at 11th. Barry Goldner, he's going to start up in 12th. Andrew, what is that?
Cooper
Smith, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you're up here. You can help me with some of these names tonight. That's awesome. Some of these guys, man, it's like, Stephen Goldner starting there in 14th. We got Neil Strouser going to be in 15th. Jeffrey Kemper there in 16th. Peter Thompson, he's up in 17th. We got Jeremy Tate starting 17th. Jonathan Krupa, 18th. John Rayner, he's starting 19th. Stephen Bixler, 20th. Jim Bowie starting 21st. Mike Cranmer in 22nd. Dan McLaren, 23rd. Bill Miller, 24th. Connor Ross back at 25th. We got Daniel Blau, 26th. Sean Grace, 27th. And Marty, he's up here in the booth with me, so.
Yeah, I was gonna drive this race, and then I get a text from Roger in our commentator pool chat, like, anyone want to join Joe for this race? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll join in, why not? And so I just asked for a DQ, and they DQ'd me, so I'm up here. I had my truck ready. I had my Silverado ready that would tell the drivers behind me to push Buddy, which is Dean's cat, so.
Oh, okay. Heck yeah. Well, but he is starting that. Oh, I ran his name. Actually, Buddy in the field here?
Dean is not in the field tonight, no.
Well, okay. Well, let's hope he's watching out there. We're getting set here to go green flag here tonight. We got our mission 22. Gonna hit that restart zone. And the Lucy Olson green flag's about to fly here at Atlanta. We got the Asphalt Tuesday, folks. Pace car ducks off. Takes that hard left turn off on pit road. Mission 22 restart zone. These guys are about to light it up here at Atlanta. We got the Lucy Olson green flag. We're racing here tonight at Atlanta. Coming around, complete lap one. Canellis, man, is going to take that one. As old Joe Moose right there is going to try to start on the outside. And like you said, they're stacked up 2 by 2 by 2 on a slingshot coming down the bad stretch here. You got Moose, Johnson, Canellis. You got Moonen trying to see what he can do for Straightens there. Chapman, Sharp, Lacey and company. Everybody's just trying to figure out what lane they need to take right now.
Yeah, absolutely. As Musso commands this field, looks like he's the pace truck at the moment. And Canellis and Moonen started on the front row, but 2 laps currently in the books at the moment with the 63 leading. Watch closely here for tonight, Joe. When you're on the straightaways, the second groove have the key, but in the corners, the low side being the place to be.
Yeah, it is. And right now, they're still locked up like glue. A little bump draft going into the turn right there. I think Canellis, he got in the backside of him. They're tailgating this place right now. A little bit of split up. But like you just said, man, they are just coming out of turn 4, heading to here. Complete this lap. Almost 3 wide. They about took it there for a moment. Man, looks pretty good, man, all the way back through this field. Riding on board with some of these guys here. Chapman showing you what it looks like, man, up close. Now, I talk about drafting a lot here, Marty, and when I talk about on Super Speedway drafting, this right here is what I like to say, textbook style drafting. You're about a hood, half a hood car length, maybe a half a truck car length off of each other. No need to get up there and put your nose up underneath. Now, with maybe 5 or 3 laps to go, forget about it. You're going to try to put it in that passenger seat, push that guy, but right now, a lot of patience.
Absolutely, and there's one positive from laying back because the fuel limit is set at 50%. Give me one moment.
Go ahead. Chapman right now look good. Oh, go ahead.
Anyway, as I was going to say, the drivers can use less fuel because they're lifting off the throttle. And so that can help them out when it comes to fuel economy because the fuel limit is set to 50%, which means we have just about 2 pit stops in this race. Now, the biggest loser in this situation is, of course, the leader in Joe Musso in the 63 because he has that foot all the way down on that throttle pedal.
Yes, and that's the bad thing. You mentioned it earlier. Do you take the strategy? Do you fall back? Do you stay up front? Some guys love leading the races. Some guys just do not want to fall back in the back. And right now you can see who kind of wants to be up front, who doesn't. Look a little further on back here, around about, I'm going to say 14th place spot. They're still stacked up. Yep.
Just have one go in the grass.
That's John Rayner. Go back on the Malcolm Mills replay here real quick. No caution because kind of parameters here on iRacing. Sometimes they go off on the grass, doesn't kick off the caution. They spun around, but we'll watch the replay here. He's been at 302 machine, and looks like he might have had to check up just a little bit. Yeah, they were checking up in front of him.
And unfortunately, because he did hit that pit cone, ooh, I believe that will be a penalty to the 302. Meanwhile, you got guys nearly 3 wide at the front of the pack. Brennan Lacey just about clips the apron. I'm liking the strategy right now of the guys from 21st on back, led by Phil Miller, then Daniel Blau, Dan McLaren, John Rayner, and Connor Ross. They're all hanging out in the back of the field and just hoping that the leaders in front all wreck here on lap number 8.
Yeah, and that's the strategy we talk about. See it all the time, Talladega, Daytona. Guys get back there, just line up, ride, draft a little bit with them. And then you got the mayhem up front, side by side, 2 by 2, door to door and wheel to wheel here. And it's just going to jockey. You see Kyle Mooner taking the lead for the moment. Canellis right there behind him. Old Joe Moose up there on the top side. He's getting a push. Hope he's not drinking no Crown Royal because that could be a bad combination. So far, looking pretty good.
They give you that PSA to take a water break. I think his water break is now. So, but Musso looking for the lead with that big push from Trent Verstraeten, and he's got the 63 back out in front.
He does, and he's going to drop down, and that's another thing you see a lot of. Do you leave your dancing partner? He brought you to the party. Do you stay up there with him, or do you drop down? A lot of guys like that inside lane, and I'm going to show something right here, too. I'm going to ride along here with Canellis. He's on the bottom lane. Right now, he's not tucked up into it. Actually, it's a better look on the inside here in the cockpit view. You can see he's not all the way up on the back end of that truck. I mean, they're jockeying around a little bit, but he's not all the way up on the back end of the truck in the front. If he was, the only thing he would see would be a big spoiler in the back of the truck. Going into the turns, that sometimes causes a problem because you can't see the apron. And a lot of times you get those tires down the apron and upset the car. Unlike right here, we're riding along with Jeremy Tate, who is on the outside. Now, Marty, when I raced, I preferred the outside because I could see ahead of me and see where those lines were.
It's an interesting situation, which groove you want to be in. I think when it comes to super speedway racing, if a wreck breaks out, you want to be on the low side because normally when a wreck happens in a turn, they're normally wrecking low, then hard up into the wall because of the speed they're carrying, and then gravity forces them back down low. So I would love to be on that bottom line. However, though, if I want to feel risky, if I want that speed, definitely go up top. As we're 3 wide, Stephen Goldner all by himself. He may drop to the back here. We'll see what happens, or we can find some space. Speaking of dropping to the back, we saw, I think last lap, if not 2 laps ago, Tim Chapman dropped to the back of the pack like an anvil falling from space. Yeah. All the way back to 14th after scraping the wall twice.
This track is wide enough to go 3 wide, 4 wide. Now you're talking about the danger zone there. I'm going to say it's still a little etchy, man, to go 3 wide here because it is a little bit narrow. You are kind of tucked up with each other. They get out of it pretty good. So smooth move there. Stephen Goldner able to hang on to that hot rod in 7th place spot. He lost a little bit, but not too bad. He's still going to be able to tuck in line, stay up there on the back bumper. You've got the 88 machine there. I believe that's Kyle Moonen. Hey, no, wait a minute. That's Verstraeten. Up there in front of them, 28 machine there of Sharp. Oh, everybody kind of right now is just feeling it. Boy, I tell you what, Goldner, he made a move.
Add on as well the fact that, it's really early in this race. We're on lap number 14. Guys trying to get a good feel for their car, see where it is. As the tires start to wear up, obviously that the drivers go full throttle, but there could be a possible chance where the rear end could get a little bit sideways. Like you see there with Trent Verstraeten going into turn 1. You have to let off the throttle just a bit, like just touch it, just nip off of it, and then bam, get right back on, you'll be good to go.
Well, I know you mentioned that this place is super speedway. It's a 1.5 mile. I consider them cookie cutter tracks. It races like a super speedway. Although the handling on this track is a lot different in the draft than it would be at Talladega and Daytona. Those tracks you're just wide open. You're kind of there riding. Here you have to kind of drive it a little bit, like you said. If not, that truck's going to start jumping around on you. I do notice a little bit two separate packs here. We got to go back here to Phil Miller in that 21st spot. He's about 5 seconds off from that top pack, all those top 20 machines. So you talked about it. They got their little group back there just riding by the time. It's still early.
Oh! Brennan Lacey got loose. He threaded the needle 3 wide, and here we go.
Bam!
Big wreck with Verstraeten and Masso.
Yep. That's
You could just see that coming.
Yeah, and that's just plate track racing right there. Really just close quarter style racing. We'll go back here on a Malcolm Mills replay. We got a Tim Watson caution. Team Watson setup caution, my bad.
Yeah, you could just easily see this one coming. It started coming across the start-finish line when Brennan Lacey took a guts and look at glory risk, trying to go 3 wide with help from his teammate. They were trying to leave Trent Verstraeten out to dry. Now, when they came across the line, I thought our big wreck was going to break out. But luckily, Lacey with car control saved it with Verstraeten. And then he just crowded upon the 63, and it was just like NR 2003 physics all over again. Where you hit somebody in the corners, you are pretty much just hooked.
We'll watch it. We'll watch it one more time right here. The viewers see it. I mean, like you just said, they went 3 wide, and then just the car in the bottom, and they just kind of got together. Coming in here, we'll go slow-mo with it. Almost 4 wide for the lead, but they were 3 wide, the 88 up on the top side of 14. Good room there for a little bit, but just got to go back. Did the Moose get a little bit of... Yeah, they just touched a little bit right there, and then from there, chaos. Wham. Parts flying.
Yeah, definitely a tough break, but luckily, one quick repair that each driver has tonight. So probably if I'm a guy like Lacey or even Verstraeten, I may consider hanging out to the back of the field until late in the race.
Yeah. Yeah, because once you use that fast fix, you're done. You're not done, but you don't have any more. And you've got to be kind of patient here the rest of the way. We're only, about 16 into this one, 19 into it. Got a little bit of ways to go now. Got to be patient, mindful. It's good to drive a little bit, aggressive. We'll say it that way, up front for a while. As we're under caution here, first time tonight. Folks, go check out c2crl.com. Get you up to speed on everything going on in the Coast to Coast Racing League here. And we appreciate everybody tuning in to the Coast to Coast Racing Network out there on YouTube. We're live there. Hit those likes and shares. We're live on OSR Network, man, over on Facebook also. Definitely, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Got a good one here tonight. And good one of the Salty Dog members here. Good to have Marty up here. So I don't think I've ever done a race with Marty before.
I don't think we've ever done a race together either.
No.
Because I know the only times that I've color commentated was when one time I think I was with Simtrax one night as I think I wanted them to fill in for me, and then I was all good, but I'm like, I'll just join you.
I don't remember if we ever done anyone here at Coast to Coast, though. I mean, because it's been, but look, I was off for a while, but I was here for a while. Remember when it was on the G-Force TV, and just trying to remember if we ever did one maybe on Renegades or something. I can't remember. Hey, look, I'm getting old, Marty. I tell you what I did Roger last night. I had another league I was doing. I texted him and I said, all right, let me know at 8:30 if we're going early. And he said, what, for tomorrow? And I went, never mind. That's kind of embarrassing. Because I always give him a hard time about Can't believe he's 74 years old and out here showing these young cats how it's done.
Yeah. It is showing off. I mean, yesterday he had a great run in the top 10, and then he shared today that he had a foot injury. And he was in a lot of pain in that sprint car race and somehow finishes in the top 10. So way to go, Bass man.
That's what I say, man. He's got that 747 machine out there. And every time I start talking about him, he hits the wall. It's winning broadcaster jinx. So sometimes I don't get excited. Try not to when he gets up to the front. But here we go. Lights off on the pace car. We're getting set. Ducks off on pit road. Mission 22 restart zone here tonight. And that Lucy Olsen green flag's about to fly here and let these guys get back to racing Atlanta style. Kemper out front. He gets to jump with Johnson. Goldner right behind him. You don't want to get too far out there because just like plate racing, they'll run you down like a freight train.
Everybody pitted under that pit stop, so I could see this being a one-stop race. But if we go to overtime, maybe
but not everybody took tires.
Not everybody. A lot of fuel only, some 2 tires, some 4 tires. It varied all around. You know, the drivers here tonight get 4 sets of tires, so they may save them for later in the race. Now, Kyle Moonen was leading at the caution flag. He is back in the 16th position. He overshot his pit box coming on in. So that's why he's all the way back there. But we got a race for the lead. Goldner looks up high.
Oh, you talk about Moonen real quick right here. His actual total pit time wasn't that bad, 42.57. The only reason is he either only took 2 tires. I mean, if you're taking fuel, you might as well take 2 tires. He had a 10-second pit stop, so that actually helped him not lose a ton of ground. You got Jeffrey Kemper up here of a 7-second pit stop, so pretty much he took fuel, and him and Goldner. But then you got Canellis there with a 10-second one. So a lot of the top guys here, I'm going to say with the top 5, and they're back side by side again, probably only took 2 tires. Jeff Sharp is the first one in that pack with a 15-second pit stop, taking 4 tires. We'll see if the 4 tires matter. A lot of tracks, Marty, though, track position can trump the tires just because it's such a hard place to pass and trying to get that momentum to get around guys. And right now, it kind of looks like it's almost like plate tracks. You know, Talladega, Daytona, tires aren't king.
No, they are not. But, I mean, a track like Atlanta, we are quickly going around this racetrack.
Yes.
And perhaps maybe as well, there may be some of the old physics of the old track in the driving style of the trucks. That could possibly be a thing, too. So we'll just have to see. Goldner, though, looks to clear on Kemper. Colin Johnson gives him the push for right now. And Colin Johnson is a very good asphalt racer. But that was a close call with him and Steven.
And that's another thing I didn't touch on. Remember, I was talking about textbook drafting. There's a couple places that you don't want to do any bump drafting as of yet. Now, later on in the race, sure, hey, all fair and love and racing. Right now, going in the turn, through the turn, going in the tri-oval and out of the tri-oval. Bump drafting is very sketchy doing that. Last lap, hey, all fair and love and racing. That's what I like to say. But right now, you just play it patient. If you're bump drafting that early going in the turns, maybe kind of hold back a little bit. You know, sure, you can be aggressive, but you get what was a word we used the other time? You can kind of be aggressive conservative. There we go. That's a good word to use.
Yeah, you don't want to be bump drafting this early in the race. Excuse me. Obviously, that is going to be a key in this one, and it's very easy to bump draft.
Yes.
I would probably wait until the final laps
yes.
of this race.
I'm with you on that one. And right now, looks pretty strong. You got Goldner out front, Kemper there behind him, 2x2. Everybody, man, is looking really sharp right now here in Atlanta tonight. Again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Got a special one going on here. I've got multiple views out there. Hit the likes and shares. Hope everybody's having a great 4th, man. Appreciate Marty jumping up here. I know he's a busy man in the real world of racing. No, you do real world of racing too, don't you?
I do.
That's what I thought. So, young man out here, man, got his career going on. Hey, a little old for all that now, but and I tell you what, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, very quiet in this chat so far. Let us know who you're rooting for.
I know. Sometimes people, they just like watching, and I know a lot of the family members out there watching, and that's cool. Hey, I've always said this, Marty, 1 or a million. I appreciate everybody out there, man, viewing in, checking in. And like I say, hit the likes and shares. Hey, there's even a dislike. Hit the thumbs down. I mean, we still appreciate you coming by either way, watching. So definitely good race, man. These guys out here putting on a good show. Again, being patient. Out front got Goldner. And we're seeing the whole pack here still under a blanket, not like it was before. Remember, it was split up with those guys in the back. Well, now you've got those guys back there. Field Miller. No, well, actually, Field Miller's lost. He went a lap down.
He's a lap down, yeah.
Yeah, he must have got caught up in that wreck or something. I got caught up in that incident and that caution. But he's still hooked up to the pack. He still would get it. If there was another caution fly, he could get that lucky dog, and anything can happen. So the whole field right now under a blanket, not like it was before where we're split up, but still up front, these guys, man, are going at it.
Well, man, Colin Johnson just had a handful in turn number 2. Not sure if Cody Graham gave him a bump or what. One of the drivers that's been catching my eye is that green and gray 07 of Preston Cranmer. He decided not to qualify, started in the 23rd position. Make sure I got my math right. Yep, 23rd position. He is up to 7th. A good run at the moment, and he's working with some teammates in front of him. Jeremy Tate in the 8th. Behind him as well, I believe the 04, Peter Thompson.
He is. He's up 16 spots right now. Like you said, hard charging it through the field. Easy to do. I'm not going to say that this track, now Talladega and Daytona, I will definitely say, it really doesn't matter where you qualify from. I've seen it all. I think it's more bragging rights on those tracks. This one here, yes, qualifying could, as they go a little bit of sketchy up front. Man, I'll tell you what they are. Those trucks are jumping around a lot. Yeah, that was scary going through that trial.
I am questioning why Stephen Goldner decided to cut the dog leg, which is legal to do, by the way, here, per the coast-to-coast rules. You expect a lot of drivers to do that, I believe, at the end of the race. I'm not sure why he did that early, because this just gives Colin Johnson an opportunity to go for this race lead. He pulls up to the door of Stephen Goldner, and now he can try to side draft here, which means try and just lean on the truck barely, then get off it to pick up some speed. They need to do it there. Colin Johnson leads the lap of the line.
He does, and we're talking right here. Yeah, that was close.
Yeah.
He might lose some momentum. But the 30 out there of Goldner, I see him going through that dog leg going down. Not sure why. I mean, Kemper, to me, I think he'd want to stay nose to tail with him, keep that draft momentum going through there. But it's almost like Charlotte, like you said. You go through that tri-oval style part, you're able to kind of go down below the line. It all depends. Some leagues let you do it, some don't. I think in NASCAR you're actually allowed to. The only tracks
in NASCAR, I don't think you're allowed to. So, but
in the dog leg?
In the dog leg, no, I don't think you can. So
because Charlotte you can.
That's why we extended longer this year. So or last
I know
year.
in Charlotte you can. Charlotte, Texas, all those. Which this track is close to mapped like those tracks there. I know you can through those. Obviously Talladega, Daytona you can't. We know all that rules, but hey, interesting to see. Sometimes when they change, NASCAR changes the rules sometimes on the fly. Who knows with them?
But as I was saying here, I think Goldner may have been testing to see how much speed he could pick up.
Yeah.
Late in the go, and if he could pull away possibly. We'll see. But the first thing, though, that we have seen here tonight, Joe, is a single file train.
Yes.
Top 5 drivers single file with Goldner, Kemper, Canellis, Sharp, Tim Chapman, Neil Strauser, and then Boyce and Johnston side by side for 7.
Well, we've been preaching all night long, wide open, wide open, wide open. It's not 100% here. Okay, this still is a 1.5 mile track, folks. It still is a driver style track. Even though, yes, the draft plays a huge thing. A long green flag.
Oh, trouble, Pat Boyce
goes. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, man, what a save.
Yeah, we'll go back and watch that on the replay real quick. Before we do is, this is still a driver's track, and a long green flag run, well, they will have to start lifting some going into the turn. That will cause them to get out of that side-by-side draft and be able to have to go single file like what we're seeing. And we are getting into that. A lot of these guys, remember, when they pitted, they didn't take 4 tires. So a lot of these guys are still on 2 tires. Now you're starting to see the tire wear come into play.
Yeah, and just going back and looking at a replay there, Pat Boyce just gave Sean Grace no room, and the 41 paid for it. As we just saw a change for second spot. Joe Canellis takes it. from Jeff Kemper, but that high side starts to redevelop. Tim Chapman looks for a run from Neil Strauser, and now Kemper gets in front of him.
One of the ones with the 4 tires.
Yeah, Kemper wants that lead.
That's Chapman right there. He's the first one up there along with Sharp. Those guys are the ones that pitted with 4 tires. So, like I said, you're starting to see the guys now with the new tires come to the front and starting to overtake the guys who maybe took the 2 tires. And this is the trade-off. You either want that good short style run or you want that good long style run. It all depends on what the race gives you. If it gives you, well, unfortunately, a lot of cautions, well, then you're going to get that short style run. If it gives you long green flags, I want to think about them 4 tires.
Oh, what a risky block by Steven Goldner to cut off the 181. Now, something I'm noticing here amongst these trucks that are running on the top side here, Joe, the trucks really want to push up in the long run. That means they're going to have to let off just a bit. Get the arc. Oh, look out! There goes the one. Oh, and hard in the wall. Big one.
Yeah, we saw that one, and I don't know why he turned up like he did. I always watch it here again, but we'll watch it here as we're under a Team Watson setup caution. Go back here on Malcolm Mills replay, check it one more time. Sharp was involved, but you see the red truck down on the bottom there, just for some reason came up the track. A lot of room between them.
And that in the aftermath, as Sharp was trying to slow down, I think Chapman got into him. And that, oh my goodness, 2 heavy impacts by Jeff Sharp.
Spotter should have said, hey, look, you're not clear. And then from there, just chaos and nowhere to go. Again, this place is still narrow, and it's not a self-cleaning track. You know, and that's another thing we'll get into here in a few minutes. You know, somebody's like, what you talking about, Joe? Parts everywhere.
Jeff and Barry here, real quick, Joe. Head-on impacts at the worst angle possible. Like they couldn't even slow down. Their front end's completely torn off. Like you can see the entire front structure of the race truck. Yeah, new damage model. It's like they're having fun on iRacing.
I like that. Parts flying over. I always say virtual eBay parts will be out here a little bit. But real quick, folks, just want to explain to you what I mean about self-cleaning tracks. A lot of times you would think with the high banking that a lot of times the cars would just instantly go straight down the track without getting too technical in physics, because I don't know all that. I just know how it works and why it does what it does, not the technical side. But some tracks, mostly Daytona and Talladega, the cars will actually come back up the track instead of scoot back down the track. This is one of those that you're going to stay kind of up top of the track. There are some tracks, though, that, yes, they will actually instantly go back down. So don't ask me how it works. It's a physics thing. It's science, and I just know over the years of what I've seen. Why some tracks are like that and why some aren't, who knows? But definitely, again, it's, you always heard in racing, and I don't know if you've heard this term here in racing, go straight for the wreck. It should be clear by the time you're there. In theory, that is true, because most of the time it should be clear. There's that few times, no. You look up at the smoke and guess what? There's a car there. What's up, DW? How you doing, man?
It's very tough.
Roger Craig out there says, Gold Bond and on the line. Go Dogs. Okay. Jim Bowie on his 80th birthday. Now, does Jim race?
Yes, Jim's racing. He's in 12th.
Oh, there he is. My bad. Hey, look, he is out here. He's in 12th. See, Roger, I'm telling you. Roger out there watching. I'm telling you, Roger, man, to me, that's impressive. Because y'all old cats, man, get out here. I mean, I understand y'all are 190 years old, but y'all still get it done on the track. Wow. We got some couple other ones, too. I think Steven Goldner's part of the Salty Dogs, ain't he? Yeah.
Nah, Steven is not. I think you're thinking of, I believe, maybe Barry. I don't think Barry's a part of the Salty Dogs.
I know Bob the Good. And Jeff Flaro, I love what I don't know if you get to see him on Mondays a lot. Jeff Flaro on the Hometown Heroes. And we're in the caution right now, folks. Jeff Flaro, that guy don't say a lot when he gets up here in interviews, but man, he gets it done on the track in those dirt cars, and it's awesome to watch.
Yeah, Jeff, very good at sprint car racing. Watch him on the Renegades every Monday night. Had a tough outing at Port Royal. But we're coming back to green here, and we are past the halfway point.
What's up, Tim? How you doing out there, man? I tell you what, appreciate everybody tuning in. It's set to go back green here tonight. We got the Asphalt Tuesday here for these old salty dog, man. It's special for the Jim Bowie, the man's 80th birthday. I mean, that's just impressive. Look at his car. He's from Canada. I always like throwing out the Moose jokes because that's just, hey, we like talking about Moose when it comes to Canadians, but good-looking truck he's got. And in 13th spot, I mean, wow. That's, I mean, you know, age is a number, I know. But just, it impresses me at that age what they're doing and be able to have to be competitive too. You know, a lot of guys would think being that age, oh, well, they're slow, they're this and that. Not necessarily. Pace car ducks off. Here we go. Mission 22 restart zone. Getting set to go back with a Lucy Olson green flag here tonight. The Asphalt Tuesday back underway. Goldner almost spun the tires on it, even though you do get new tires. And it looks like he didn't get new tires again. I don't know if he maybe did 2 tires last time and did the 2 tires on the other side this time because they only had an 8-second stop. But I did notice he spun the tires a little bit.
Joe, I think you're on replay.
Okay, let's go back. Okay, now we're live.
Yes, now we're live. Had me nervous for a moment. I looked back at the feed, so.
Yeah, I was up here. I got all excited about Jim Bowie.
Yeah, Stephen holding serve for right now. Something interesting here as well. The new Atlanta does not have any lights.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there are light structures around Atlanta, but the lights actually do not work on iRacing.
Is it
it's very dim. It's very dim at the moment.
So did they just set this thing up for afternoon? And are we going to hit?
We all thought they had lights. We're having a Chicago moment.
Oh Lord, here we go.
We home Atlanta.
Hey, you know what? I did that one time. Marty had a league that messed up on not that they messed up, but they didn't know they did that. And guess what? Ended up the whole track became so dark they did have to stop the race because it was like it darkened out before they got done.
Yeah.
But hey, Stephen Golder might not mind. Right now he's out front. Kyle Mooner there in second. Brendan Lacey starting in third. You see him single filed up. Here comes the top lane though. Going to throw a block up there. But it's still momentum. It puts Preston in the wall. That's going to start a chain reaction.
Caution, yellow flag.
Bad wreck.
Yeah.
Rayner.
Oh! I don't know who that came in there like a bullet.
I think that was Bowie. Nope, that was Cooper Smith in the 45. Woo. And this is going to once again take some time off once more.
Let's see what we got here. We got a Team Watson caution. We're going to Malcolm Mills replay. Go with the Blimpie cam. I always like Blimpie. I mean, you can't be mad to say Blimpie. It's when I'm happy with. All Preston up here, and I think he might have had to check up just a little bit from the block of the car, but he had a run. He went high, and then the wall just magnetized him, and from there it was just chaotic. And I'm not sure who just shot up in there, but they were patriotic doing it.
That was Cooper Smith with the fireworks.
Woo.
God bless America.
In line, he came in there singing "Old Glory" while he was doing it. But does put us under caution, and folks, you're right. Don't adjust your eyeballs. Yeah, it is getting dark. And Atlanta in real life does have lights, and you can see the lights actually here. But for some reason, iRacing, like Marty just said, doesn't have them implemented. And I don't know that maybe the guys here at Coast to Coast, not their fault, maybe just didn't realize it, and that they've got this thing set to afternoon night. Is what it looks like.
It's okay. We all thought we did too, because I believe the old Atlanta has lights too.
Ah, okay. So we might be in danger. Which I don't know. We're at lap 50. We're at lap 50. Wow, the screen over here is so small sometimes. Might be all right. We might be get 30 more laps.
I think we can get them all in. We'll see.
I think we can,
But I think
yeah.
they gotta.
How the guys get the flashlights out and start hanging them out the side of the car? See,
I mean,
this would
if I
be
look
a
inside-
perfect. This would be a perfect time to have the perfect argument over should NASCAR implement headlights on their cars.
Well, luckily it's still light in turns 3 and 4, but it's darker in 1 and 2. And yeah, I would like to see personally. I would love to see NASCAR or iRacing scan Garage 56.
You
From
know,
Lamar.
here, real quick on that. I'm old school NASCAR. I've watched NASCAR way back in the early 80s. Okay, possibly about early 80s. So I've watched it develop and go. So I'm more old school. But the new car that they've got now, I love GT3 racing, Marty. I love it. I think those are some of the most technically advanced road racing cars there is. The new Gen 4 style or next gen style car that they built was built on the platform of a GT3 style. They built it for road racing basically. And if they were going to go that route, if they're going to keep going that route, I'm with you. Why not implement in a lot of what the GT3s have? They've already went with rain tires and stuff like that. Why not go with tail lights and headlights and stuff like that?
Well, in the words of Lightning McQueen, NASCAR drivers don't need headlights because the track is lit.
True.
But so does my brother, and he needs headlights.
Yeah, I mean, and now there's that's flip side of the coin. Most of these tracks have lights. They're not like road courses where you can light really can't light. You could light the whole track, but man, that's a lot of lights. But most of the time, road tracks are not lit, so that's where the headlights and stuff come in on those. But yeah, you're right. That's probably why they have not went that route yet, as far as maybe going full blown GT3. But here we go, pace cars in. Excuse me. Going back to Mission 22 restart, and yeah, it's starting to get awful dark out there. Storms are brewing. Here we go. Motors are live. Lucy Olsen, green flag. Goldner out front. Mooner's right behind him. You got Lacey and company, and Mooner, boy, look at Goldner throw the block. I don't know. He might be thinking this thing might cut short. That's why he's been a little aggressive.
Well, now look at this. It's 1, 2, 3 Bandy build at the moment. And the way they work together, they're going to make sure that nobody wins this race that's not a Bandy build car. They want to put a Bandy build car to victory lane. Nobody's going to pass each other. They're all going to work together. You see Dan McLaren try and see if he can get a groove up on the outside.
Right now, let's ride on board with Brennan Lacey just to show you how dark it really is. And it is starting to get midnight sun here for these guys. As Lacey, he sees the car in front. Oh, you're right. Caution. Let's see what we got.
Jim Bowie. Oh, man. Tim Chapman, John Rayner.
Let's see what happened to him here on our Team Watson caution on a Malcolm Mills replay. Oh, Rayner got in the back of the 41. You see up there, Rayner just nowhere to go. Bowie was there. Let's go on Bowie's view here first off. Let's go see what happened here because it actually started on him. Watch it one more time.
Man, all four wheels off the ground, the 058. You just pretty much gave Grace no room whatsoever. And
right
so
down the bottom.
In return, Grace dumped him.
Yeah, he's right down the bottom, and they getting a run on him. He probably just couldn't see. I mean, at that point, it's getting dark out there. Yeah, no, well, actually,
Nobody
the one car
see.
down on the bottom, the 27, actually down on up below the apron, came up into Jim.
We've
I don't
got
know if you
an
saw
update
that. Wow.
Here. Give me one moment. We've got John Krupa, race director, with us. John, what do you got?
What's up, man?
It's getting awfully dark out. I'm not sure how much longer we'll be able to beat it.
Yeah, I see that, man. It's looking the thunderstorms are coming in. I think that's why Stephen Goldner's out there got his pedal, man, trying to go out there like a Flintstone and roll that thing around. How long, many more laps you think they're going to be able to roll with this thing?
I'm honestly not sure much more. I'm looking at a couple cockpit cameras right now.
Pretty dark. I've looked at a couple myself, yeah.
I think we're going to have to probably call it here once they sort out
You let me know, man. I tell you
Grid.
what. I mean, it's just one of them things. Not the fault of the league. Not the fault of anybody. I would have thought the same thing when I saw the lights. I don't know why. Maybe that's something that these guys need to bring up to iRacing. Hey, you know, fellas, you got lights here. Real Atlanta's got lights. What are we supposed to do?
Hang on,
Been a good
Mike.
race, though. I mean, I got to ask, since you're up here with us, how hectic is it to be race control in one of these races?
Well, you just need people to key up a little longer if they need something, but it definitely makes pacing a lot harder because one slip and then you bump someone under caution and then nobody has a good day.
I am being
what about your
John.
headaches?
John, I don't mean to interrupt you here, but I am being told here by your authority that it will be called at lap 60.
Okay, what lap are we on right now?
We're on 55.
So they're going to try to take it 5 more laps. Okay. Well, we'll try it and see. Hopefully we don't bunch up a bunch of more machines, but hey, keep your head, man, strong up our John. Keep these guys in line, and 5 more laps under this right here. This is going to get interesting, Marty.
News. All right, thank you guys.
Oh, no problem, man. Well, I tell you, Marty, I'm with John. I think probably at this point, probably calling it now or as soon as they would go back would be the thing, because here's a shot, folks. You're seeing what the driver's seeing right now. We were just riding around with Goldner. The visibility's not there. Goldner probably has the best visibility because he can see the sunset out there and so forth. Everybody else behind him, let's say if you're running about 5th, 6th place spot, yeah, you're going to be kind of close up on it a little bit. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Nighttime racing. We done had endurance racing, night racing. I don't know what you're going to see here, coast to coast. What do you think, Roger? Want to be out here? Yeah, awesome. Lights off on the pace car. I tell you what is kind of cool, Marty. You can see inside the car, the dashboard's actually lighting up.
And we are maybe calling it now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with them. It's, you know, again, nothing. Well, pace car's off, but they're going to call it. They'll have to throw caution manually right here if they let them go green. It went
They're
green.
going to go green here. They're going to go for it.
Why not?
And again, you can't even see a thing.
No, I'm looking at it right now.
When a wreck breaks out, you won't be able to see it either.
Well, we're going to ride here with Canellis, Marty, inside in his cockpit, just to show the folks. Oh, wow.
Rainer,
yep.
You can't see anything anymore. Daniel Blau, this may be it.
Holy cow, yeah, wow. Oh, yeah, we're watching the wreck. And, yeah, he just got spun around. Yeah, and Bowie got involved in it again. Unfortunate right there. But, yeah, I would say at this point, dark racing. Again, no fault here on the league, folks. You know, I know everybody out there probably thinking, what, world shouldn't have known. You know, the lights are there. I don't think, from my knowledge, I have not heard anybody say that the lights do not work on the Atlanta. I know everybody loves the blimpy, don't they? I love blimpy. The blimpy is one of them words that you can't be mad at. It's a happy word. Never heard anybody in a fight go, I'm going to blimpy you up. So that's why I like calling it the blimpy cam. And we'll go to the blimpy cam just to show you how dark it is and just how, you know, kind of can't see. And you just can't see. So we're waiting here officially if they're going to call it, what they're going to do. I know Marty, he's down there doing his investigating reporting. What are you hearing from pit road there, Marty?
I'm hearing they're going to call it shortly. Give me one moment.
Oh, we made it to 60, didn't we?
All right, so I just heard they're going to call it lap 60.
I'm going to put Stephen Goldner pretty much winning this thing. I don't. I mean, they could let him go green, but I don't. Lights are off on the pace car. Just you're asking for a wreck, I think, if you let him go green.
Absolutely. Like, you need to turn the lights on and go one extra lap.
Yeah. I mean, they could actually, as soon as it goes green, throw the caution and then end it at that point. I think they're just trying to get everybody lined up so they can get a snapshot of where the field would be. Obviously, Stephen Goldner out front, Moonin there in second. Strauser hanging on third, Lacey in fourth. Our hard charger right now would actually be Daniel Blau. He's up 15 spots back in 12th. He's one spot ahead of Dan McLaren, who is in 14th right now. And Stephen Goldner 13 spots up, but we'll see if they let him loose. I'll be surprised.
They're going to let him loose here, I believe.
Wow.
One lap shootout.
Green flag.
Okay, here we go. Last lap. Green flag under the nighttime darkness. Can Goldner hold him off here with Kyle Moonin behind him? And then you've got Brendan Lacey hanging on the third. If I'm those top three, I'm not trying anything crazy. I'm just going to sit there and ride.
Kyle Moonin makes a
Moonin
charge to the
says, "Heck
outside,
no."
though. Moonin's got a chance at it, but he's got no help.
Yeah, he's on that outside all alone. I don't know if that 68 is going to jump up there with him. Nope, he's going to lose the momentum going into turn 4. Goldner's there. They bumping.
Hey.
Coming to the line. It's going to be Goldner. And that third place.
Moonin, I think, got it. He did.
Oh, wow, Kyle Moonin by a fender.
It's a Bandy-built podium lockout.
Man, what a finish to this one. And no, your eyes don't need to be adjusted. You can't see. I mean, they are dark. They are dark. So we had to cut this one about 20 laps short here, folks, but that's all right. Not bad, night to night. Like you said, Marty, man, what an awesome race. What a time here with these guys. It's a good one. Hope everybody's having a good 4th. Enjoying your weekend. Roger, I hope you start feeling better. And I hate, man, you're out there and got a broke foot. Hurt foot. Stephen Goldner. Oh, yeah, that's going to mess up my ticker now, so I don't know who. Stephen Goldner, Lacey, and Moonin.
Stephen Goldner, Brennan Lacey, Kyle Moonin.
I thought it was. And my ticker's going to go wild on y'all folks because technically it's just a caution at the end of the race. Any of these guys in here, we'll wait and give them a second to jump up here, get a word with them.
I got a guy I want to bring in here as well while we're at it.
Yeah, let's bring him up here. Let's get a word with him.
Let's bring in the birthday boy here. Joe, I'll let you take it.
Oh, well, Jim, man, I tell you what, unfortunate tonight you got caught up in a wreck, but man, I hard to see out there on that track, but how you feeling, and happy birthday, by the way.
Well, thank you.
How was that race for you?
Oh, that's pretty wild.
You,
Racing in the dark.
Yeah, I see that, man, out there. That's the first time. Well, it's not the first time I've seen it, but it's a wild one to be able to do it. Now, how was you feeling as far as the truck and the track here tonight?
I was doing really good till we got into a bunch of last lap accidents.
Well,
I
you know
was
what?
likely one of my better races going.
Oh yeah, you were looking strong out there, and again, it impresses me. You know, I give Roger, man, heck all the time about his age because it impresses me. You guys come out here, it's just a number, but man, y'all come out here and show these young cats how it's done week in and week out.
Yeah, well, I'm only 80, so I'm still young.
There you go. Heck, flipping around, you be 8. That's the way I always want to do it. But hey, you got anybody you want to thank for a good finish or at least a good run here tonight?
Oh, I was running behind John a lot. 302, he was doing fine, and it was nice to run with him. Other than that, I wasn't keeping track of who was around me.
Well, definitely, man, you're looking good. Marty, you want to say anything?
Jim, happy birthday, man. Hope you had a great day and a great time. Congratulations on a new decade.
Thanks, Marty. I really appreciate it.
There you go. That's Jim Bowie right there. We're celebrating him tonight. Let's bring up third place man here, Kyle Mooner. Let's get a word with him here, Marty.
Kyle, a 1, 2, 3 Bandy Built lockout. How about that?
Sorry, can you say that again? I just got my voice on.
A 1, 2, 3 Bandy Built lockout. How about that?
Yeah. It was nice to finish that off there. We were a little bit nervous, thinking we were going to run out of light a little quicker, and we did, but got it done. So.
Walk us through your race tonight from your perspective.
It really was a pretty good race. I mean, definitely at the beginning, as far as cautions went, I sped on pit road that first pit stop, which sent me to the back and had to work my way back up there. But all in all, it wasn't a bad race. So.
Well, it was a good one tonight. Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Just all the guys at Bandy Built, you for the broadcast, and everyone that helps put on the league.
All righty, man. Great job tonight, and we'll see you next week.
That's Kyle Moonen bringing her home third here. Second place man, Lacey. Right, I had to get it right because my ticker, man, it's off. Bring him up here. Let's get a word with him.
Brennan, a great run for you tonight in the runner-up spot. First off, a Bandy Built podium lockout. How about that?
Yeah. I didn't actually expect that. I didn't even expect to run good here tonight. Really, knew I had some speed with the truck, but got in the draft and just started working in the favor. So, I'm definitely happy with it. I like to see that.
You had I guess it was a wild race for you, that you were a part of the first caution, which was a crazy moment. And then how did you make that comeback?
Oh, it just that first one might have been a little tight. I'll take the blame for that one. But, just got to be patient with it. I just had to work its way up. A couple cautions played in the favor. Next thing I knew, I was in fourth, and it was like, oh, now we're setting ourselves up to where we want to be. So it's just kind of one of those kind of fell at the right spot at the right time kind of deals.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Big shout out Bandy Built as always. Great running up there with Goldner and Moonen and everything like that. Big shout out to Dirt Gangster Apparel. If you ever want to go online, dirtgangsterapparel.com. Great group of guys there. Appreciate you boys for sticking with it, and we'll see if we can get us a light bill next week. I
think Atlanta ran out of electricity. I don't think they paid their electric bill. So.
Oh yeah, we were blaming Goldner for the Canada wildfires to bring it down there. So.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Alrighty, we'll let you go. Great job tonight.
Sir, y'all have a good one.
All right, Brendan's our second place finisher. Let's get the winner in here, and Joe, you can take this one with Steven Goldner.
Well, Steve, man, I tell you what, up here, man, the E-Extreme E-Speed TV Victory Lane, I know you can't see anything. You have to get your flashlight out. But, man, what a race. Tell us how hectic it was there at the last closing lap.
Yeah, it got pretty dark, and I'm kind of scared of the dark, so I'm glad we ended it early there, and glad Lacey and Moonen could run top three, too, so that was pretty cool. But, yeah, the racing was, it was okay, but then it got almost too dark to see, and then it's a good thing we called it when we did, because when we were parked there for the photo in Victory Lane, it just went almost completely black. So we definitely got lucky with the light there, but yeah, it was a fun race, that's for sure.
Gotta ask though, even before that, when it was racing earlier on, I noticed you were taking at least a 2-tire style stop. Was you worried about the guys coming up on that high side with those 4 tires there on that long green flag run?
No, I only took 2 tires the first stop, and I just did fuel only my second one. I only did 2 stops. So just because we were filling up with fuel and the truck was pretty well dry, and I figured I'll throw tires on it and see if it makes a difference, and it really didn't. So our second stop, we just made sure we did fuel only and tried to get out in the lead.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, man, I held off for you. Just had a good run, man. Like I say, 1, 2, 3 on the team there. You got anybody you want to thank for a good win?
Yeah, I gotta thank all the Bandy Belt guys and Sean Grace for hanging out too. It was a fun night for for all of us. A lot of laughs. Good to have Lacey back. He's been chasing women the last couple of weeks, hasn't been racing, but good to have him back. Velocity Race Designs, Spinning Boat Race Cars, Dirt Doctor Trucking, Fits Perfect Photography, Boona Racing Engines. You guys for the broadcast. And Roger and everyone with Coast to Coast Racing Leagues.
There you go. That's Stephen Goldner putting her in victory lane. Well, Marty, like you said, it got dark real quick here tonight, but the action was hot and heavy here for the 4th of July race. Again, happy birthday to old Jim Bowie out there. Hope he has many, many more, but it was a wild one, Marty.
Wild one, but did not disappoint. Atlanta was a great race, and congratulations to Stephen Goldner and Vanderbilt Racing on the win.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to head out of here with, I would say under the lights, but actually in the dark, we're going to head it out of here. For myself and everybody here at the Coast to Coast Racing League, have a good rest of the 4th and have a good week.